If you had someone to make a putt for you, that'd be the one you choose.
And usually when we say that, it backfires.
So I didn't say it this time.
Prize money $108,000 to the champion. 64.8 for second place. Third 48.
You would call that a really consistent round. 2 birdies, 16 pars, birdied the first and 18th.
And didn't make a bogey yesterday either.
And you can say that about Riviera. You know you're playing well.
Here's Edwards from the fringe.
He has the exact same line that Ben had. It will not move too much to the right. It depends how it comes off this little snarly grass.
That's got to hurry.
Well, he will certainly think about his bogeys at 15 and 17, and 17 was very costly. So we now have one left.
Now one more challenger.
If you think about T.C. Chen right now, this is about the longest putt he has had for a birdie in the last 4 holes. He had an opportunity at 15, 16, and 17. 17 was no more than 6 feet and missed all 3 of them.
If Crenshaw is the best putter out here on tour, this guy's got to be right behind him.
Downhill is fast, and it should move us slightly to his left.
It took him 4 holes, but he finally found the range.
Edwards has to putt out. He will finish with this putt. It makes it 3rd by himself. Crenshaw and T.C. Chen tied for 1st, and 4 players tied for 4th. How close can you get?
Danny Edwards.
Well, when you go all day, Ken, and you only have 4 birdies, and then the last group of the day comes up and 2 out of the 3 birdies, I wonder what the odds are against something like that.
Well, especially with the pressure. But, you know, again, Pat, when you think about it, with the 3 players, the whole stage was set as soon as Crenshaw hit his iron. They knew then that par wasn't going to be good enough, or if they want to win, they had to make birdie, and he set the stage for them. And they all hit magnificent second shots.
Well, they'll go back to 15, and coming up, the first hole of sudden death, the playoff between T.C. Chen and Ben Crenshaw.
We're making biscuits every morning at McDonald's. We're up at dawn, shoo-be-doo-doo-wah. Got our 8 friends on, Popeye, Popeye. We're making up the dough. Roll it out, put it in a pan. Nobody makes biscuits like we can. With bacon or sausage, the eggs are fresh. If you say so ourselves, ours are the best.
Take breakfast by the hand with a fresh biscuit sandwich.
It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's. United, we are temptation.
This winter, United has just what you need. A ticket to someplace else.
We are temptation. Take a winter vacation.
More low fares to more someplace else's than any other airline. Why fight it?
Give in to temptation.
There now. That's the ticket.
We are temptation.
Coming up, the first hole of sudden death. They'll go back to 15. It's T.C. Chen and Ben Crenshaw, neither of whom have ever won a playoff. Crenshaw's been in 5. T.C. Chen has been in 1. What would you have bet that 2 out of the 3 would birdie that hole?
Well, as you said, all day long there were 4 birdies out of the whole field, and you come to the last hole with the last group, and they make 2 of them. But they all hit perfect tee shots, and once the first player hits the ball that close, the other 2 pick up the mood. If Crenshaw had been, say, 40 feet away, the other one think, well, gee, maybe if I make par, I can still win. They know Crenshaw. They know how he putts. They know what he can do, and they all went after it.
What about the first playoff hole?
15, they have not produced many birdies there. They both hit excellent second shots there again. But Chen, in missing the putts at 15, 16, and 17, and then making it 18, he was due for that. But, you know, you don't always have to make it. But
while we have a minute, let's look at some of the other finishing scores.
I don't favor any one of the two right now. In fact, the playoff record of Crenshaw is 0-5.
Right.
And T.C. Chen is 0-1. You'd think it's about time for Crenshaw to win a playoff. But
looking at the laws of average, you certainly would think that.
I think it's like having children. It's still 50-50.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, you just go at it again, and you know, you be the right time in the right place, and that's what it is. But as we said, like you said, would you like to putt first? I would have, and I thought mainly I didn't really feel the other two would make it after he made it, because the excitement, the yelling, the screaming. But they quieted down and they went back after it again. In fact, Danny Edwards did not hit the best putt, but he got caught in that grass, and he can't afford to go after it, because if he three putts, he goes back down to fourth place.
Good tournament for Lanny Watkins and Steve Pate. They wound up at 7 under, just 2 behind. Don Pooley at 7 under. Seti Ballesteros at 5. He just never could manufacture a move the last 2 days.
Well, this morning he hit his second shot about 4 feet on the par 5 first hole, as you said, and then missed it, and he kind of lost the mood or momentum.
Here's what set up the playoff. This putt by Ben Crenshaw at 18 for birdie. Look at his wife.
I think she was excited.
She almost knocked her sister down.
But you watch Crenshaw. He came over and sat down. He was elated because he had the ball in the hole. But what he did is he sat down and had to, you know, he had to think one thing. One of them might make, so let's not get too excited. I have to come, don't get too far down so I can't come back up.
Well, the playoff is coming up. They'll go back to 15. In fact, they're on their way back to 15 right now, where the sudden death playoff will start between T.C. Chen and Ben Crenshaw, as you look at the gallery flocking back to the 15th hole. And a huge gallery it is. And we'll have the playoff, the sudden death playoff, coming up in just a moment.
If the T's could talk, they'd tell you which ball most of the pros all play. And here's what they'd tell you about this week's tournament. With numbers like these, they must know what they're talking about. Now you can see your mistakes before you make them. The perfect alignment system. Dead center putters like Titleists.
For the men who earn a living by being good on their feet, comfort and support from a great pair of shoes can make the difference between lunch money and prize money. So it should come as no surprise that 8 out of 10 pros who walk to work every day walk to work in FootJoy golf shoes. FootJoy.
What's it like to hit the pinnacle 384?
Nice shot.
Pinnacle 384. A hot one.
Coming up, the first hole of sudden death, the playoff between T.C. Chen and Ben Crenshaw. To find out who is the Los Angeles Open champion of 1987, the 61st. Now, one of the common things you hear about the PGA Tour is that who are these guys? All the young players, all the fine young golfers coming up. And we here at CBS on our tour stops are going to feature on every tournament we cover a profile of the rising young stars. Here's Gary McCord.
Every week, approximately 150 golfers tee it up at each tournament site, all hoping to walk off with the championship. While we all know about the stars in the tour, there's a sea of unknown faces out there. And every once in a while, a new name pops up on the leaderboard, prompting everyone to ask, who are those guys? Well, from time to time this season, I'm going to tell you who they are as we begin a new series called The New Breed. And let's go meet Kurt Byram. Oneida, South Dakota is a town you wouldn't expect a professional golfer to come from. Byram attended the University of New Mexico on a golf scholarship where he was an All-American in 1980. Starting the 1986 season, Kurt was not a member of the PGA Tour, but he parlayed a sponsor's exemption to the Hardee's Classic into a second-place finish and kept the roll going by placing third at the Bank of Boston Classic a few weeks later. His year was capped off by a win at the Showdown Classic at Jeremy Ranch in Utah with senior Bobby Nichols. How'd you get interested in golf?
My parents played a lot of golf when we were kids, my brother and I, and we got interested going out with them to the golf course a lot.
Do you remember the first time you picked up a golf club?
I probably started about 8 years old, somewhere in there, just going out, and my dad liked to practice a lot. I used to go out and shag balls for him and hit a few with him, and spent a lot of time out there with him.
Who's your golf idol?
Tom Watson probably was. He was definitely the guy when I really was interested in golf. Right after I got out of high school and right the first couple years in college, he was the guy that was winning all the tournaments, and I liked you know, his aggressive style and everything.
His aggressive style is displayed by his most potent weapon, the long-range drive.
If I'm having a good round, I'm driving the ball good, and my irons have been good. My putting has been average, and as it gets better, my rounds have gone lower.
And someone who knows his swing better than anybody is Ken Venturi, who has worked with Kurt for the last 5 years. Ken?
Strong left side setup, good takeaway in one piece with a full shoulder turn. Plants the left side to stay down and under. Good acceleration and balance.
The ability to hit the ball long makes the future bright for the farm boy from South Dakota. What do you like about being on the golf tour?
Probably the best thing about it for me is I don't have to be back in Oneida farming.
By winning over $33,000 already in 1987, the good-looking South Dakotan has firmly established that his success at the end of last year was no fluke at all, and that farming the fertile soils of the PGA Tour is all the hard labor he will have to encounter.
Well, you saw Ben Crenshaw's putt that put him into the playoff with T.C. Chen. Now let's have a look at T.C.'s putt from just off the back of the 18th green.
Right down, right dead flat center. Those two putts were as perfect as you could find.
Neither one of them ever in doubt.
Both those putts would have gone in if the cup was the size of the ball.
Let's go out to Steve Melnyk, who is at 15.
That's PGA Tour official David Eager.
Pick a sheet of paper.
There's a piece of paper with a 1 and a 2 on it.
And we'll know where Ben hits also.
First.
TC's first, all right.
T.C. Chen with the number 1, of course, will be first to play. This 15th hole has given Chen problems, as you can see. 2 bogeys, 2 pars, but just missed a short putt for birdie here earlier today. Looking right, he can just miss the edge of that bunker. And he is either in that bunker or just short. And it remains to be seen if he has a clear shot to the green. There he is. He's just short of that bunker. He's about 200 to 210 yards away. He came off that shot. He got out ahead of it, came off it. And now Crenshaw. 3 pars and a bogey for him. Obviously confident with his swing, with his finish today, and particularly on 18. That's gone left. That's gone way left. In fact, that's near the alternate tee for the 8th hole. Neither player having played a good shot. But we'll be back with more golf action from the Riviera Country Club after this word from your local station.
This is CBS.
In the last 3 years, the Gar Seed Company has covered a lot of ground. We started with 13,000 customers. The next year, 40,000. And last year, 65,000 farmers bought Garst hybrids. So if you haven't tried us, maybe you should. Because the next thing you know, you're going to see Garst everywhere you look.
Ask about Garst 8344, the new leader in the industry.
Hi, this is Dave Buzik inviting you to join us on Sunday evenings at 5:30 for Time Capsule. Each week, we take an in-depth look at the people, places, and events of our state. Recently, we learned about the dangerous problem of farmer's lung disease. We heard a down-to-earth explanation of why insurance premiums are rising so rapidly. We visited the majestic Fitch Mansion in Des Moines, flew with the Iowa Air National Guard, and went clam hunting along the Mississippi River. The stories of our state during our time, all placed into the Time Capsule Sunday evenings at 5:30 here on TV8.
Be a part of it all. The new Late Night Look on TV8.
Next Saturday on CBS Sports, the PGA Tour moves to Miami for the Doral Ryder Open third-round coverage, which will begin at 1:30 Eastern Time. After that, at 3:30, it's the NBA. The Bucks traveling to Chicago to play the Bulls with the league's top scorer and slam dunk champion Michael Jordan. Next Saturday on CBS. Sudden Death Playoff, and they are at 15. T.C. Chen and Ben Crenshaw. Out once again to Steve Melnyk.
All right, Pat. Two very unlikely protagonists here in the sudden death at Riviera. Chen, of course, from Taipei, Taiwan. Ben Crenshaw, Austin, Texas. Two vastly different backgrounds. Yet two very talented players. Chen lost that five-way playoff in 1983 at the Kemper. And Crenshaw's playoff record, certainly nothing to brag about, 0 for 5. And Pat, you can probably shed some light on that.
We lost twice in 1981 at the Crosby, was one of them. And the other one was in Texas. So it hasn't been a pleasant situation and sudden death for Ben Crenshaw or T.C. Chen.
That's David Eager informing Ben of the proper procedure. The road is an obstruction, and as such is entitled to a relief. That's a macadam service road. You're entitled to full relief plus a club link. And they're trying now to determine the white line which determines the outer boundary of the obstruction. Here you get a good look at the second shot. Chen will be first to play from about 200 yards to the flag. He's got it coming right at it. What can you say? This young man, perhaps as unflappable as any player we've seen in some time.
That's a good shot, huh?
Awesome. He likes it, and he should. I would say it's safe to call him a very decided underdog in this playoff. Ben would obviously like to play the ball if he has a clean lie. If it's sitting on hardpan without any rocks, then he can play it. And he's entitled to remove all loose impediments, but no rocks that are embedded. Since it becomes a game of pickup sticks, in this case, rocks. So you can't move the rock without dislodging the ball. So he does have that option, but by dropping it in the grass, he's subject to a flyer and an awkward lie. And the second problem, of course, will be footing.
192 yards. Oh.
And you heard his caddy say he has 192. Flagstick 180 to the front of the putting surface.
That last one.
Now, in light of the Stadler controversy, he can, in fact, move loose impediments while taking its stance. And that is not considered building or improving his stance. He's chosen to play from the hard pan, assuming he can keep his footing and his traction. He can control the ball so much better. The corner of the bunker. Advantage Chen. First hole of the playoff here at Riviera. Crenshaw bunker, Chen about 12 feet away.
They're here. Nissan is the family sedans you don't have to drive, you're glad to drive.
We got the power to make you move. We make you feel like driving. We make you feel like driving.
Sentra, the affordable quality sedan. Stanza, real room and comfort for 5. Maxima, our definition of luxury and performance.
We make you feel like driving, and the name is Nissan. United, we are temptation.
This winter, United has just what you need. A ticket to someplace else.
We are temptation. Take a winter vacation.
More low fares to more someplace else's than any other airline. Why fight it?
Give in to temptation.
There now. That's the ticket.
We are temptation.
We're in the first hole of sudden death at 15. Playoff between T.C. Chen and Ben Crenshaw. Crenshaw with difficulty. T.C. Chen close to the hole.
If you think about Chen's play right now, the iron shots at 15, 16, 17, and at 18, and think of Crenshaw going 2 days without a bogey and looking now possibly at his first bogey in 2 days at the wrong time.
But don't forget those 2 shots he hit in regulation play here at 15 and at 60.
That's right. He got up and down for that 3 pars, and he can get the ball up and down.
To Steve Melnyk.
Thank you, Pat. To reiterate what Kenny said, there are very few players on tour who are better bunker players than Ben. He's drawn a good lie, but he's got to get the ball up quickly. There's a very high lip right in front of him. A lot of green to work with, going right up the hill. The early parts of his career now become something of a good ball striker. It's nice to have those resources to draw on. T.C. Chen never won on tour. Was in that one playoff at the Kemper. It's Ben's pregnant wife, Julie. This is the kind of putt that a player with more experience here at Riviera might read easily. But Kenny, I can't imagine having it in a better spot than right under the hole here.
No, and he's got confidence for making the putt at 18. He knows the ones he's missed before. Crenshaw, I can't express what a marvelous bunker shot that was, Steve, but I don't know. You're looking at the 2 best putters, I think, on tour, don't you?
It's hard to argue with that statement. No more than about 12 feet. This for the win. I think he misread it. So many of these greens at Riviera are very difficult to read. I think both TC and his caddy misread it. Now Crenshaw's putt is certainly something more than a formality. From about 3.5 feet. When you talk about Ben's putting, I think you exhaust the list of superlatives. Disappointment and anticipation. This to have the hole and to continue. What do you say? You live by the blade and you die by the blade. What a disappointment for Ben Crenshaw, but congratulations goes to T.C. Chen. Chen, the 1987 LA Open champion. Ben Crenshaw continues his winless streak in playoffs. Now 0 for 6. TC wins $108,000, $64,800 for Ben Crenshaw in what can only be described as a disappointment to Ben and euphoria for TC Chen. And a disconsolate Julie Crenshaw walking out to her husband. Kenny, Pat, strange ending.
Most unexpected, I think you'd have to say. T.C. Chen is in 1987 has won $146,438. That's his first PGA Tour victory, and that's a big milestone.
Well, what a tournament to win, too. The LA Open has always been one that golfers would like to have the title of LA Open. It's a super place to play, and to win at Riviera, which has been accepted, it has the mystery, the air of the Hogan and all the Sneeds and Nelsons that played here and won. It's just odd to think of a man that has gone 2 days at Riviera without making a bogey, and the first playoff hole he makes his first bogey on a putt that usually he can just tap it right in. And the break, I think he just pulled the putt a little bit, and he knew it was gone as soon as he hit it because it was past and out of the break. But that's just dejected. But he can't be embarrassed about it.
No, certainly not. I think you look at where we're going a week from now, Doral, you look at another classic golf course.
And we'll see probably another champion.
So for our CBS Sports announcer crew, this is Pat Summerall saying so long from the Riviera Country Club in Pacific Palisades, California.
Next Saturday at 1:30 Eastern, the PGA on CBS Sports continues with live third-round coverage of the Doral Ryder Open. Then at 3:30 Eastern, it's NBA action when the Milwaukee Bucks take on Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. The 1987 Los Angeles Open has been presented by Nissan and sponsored by Nissan's Pathfinder, named 4x4 of the Year by Four Wheeler and Four Wheel and Off-Road magazines. Hewlett-Packard, the people who turn your business computing problem into a business computing solution. And by the investment firm of Smith Barney. They make money the old-fashioned way. They earn it.
United's cut fares from coast to coast. Fly for just $29 to $99 to more cities than any other airline with as little as 2 days advance purchase.
You're not just flying, you fly in the friendly skies.
When you look for champions, you look to CBS Sports. This is